So this past week, Tim Pool put out his, I guess his first single, technically, officially, his first single, "Will the People." For the for those of you who don't know who Tim Pool is, he's a journalist on YouTube. He got famous off of his coverage of Occupy Wall Street, and and then he worked for Vice and Fusion, I believe, Fusion TV. I'm not sure if there's two different Fusions, but he worked for either of those. And so he put out this song, and he wrote it on acoustic guitar because there's a previous video of him singing this, but this is like full production mode. So he does full that, and then we have other people such as Nisha Alman. I'm not sure who she is or anyone else on this list as well, but she did the arrangement, and also the production on that, probably adding drums, guitar, some bass as well, what other instrumentations there were. And then iStudios helped make the music video. I don't know if fully, but or they were behind it, or they helped with the special effects. But yeah, that's what they helped with. And then also Johannes Offen did the illustration, whether that was the full video or certain things that were put into the video. But he was part of it too. Again, I don't know who these people are, but they seem to be willing to help him out. So that was pretty cool. But the song itself, "Will the People," if you can't guess, is about revolution, or a critique of revolution. The specific critique, it's really about continual revolution. This kind of anti-Jeffersonian idea that revolution needs to be every 19 years. So he's really digging into that, and it's really about regime change too, and this kind of shallow regime change, like thinking you can just pop in someone else because the other guy is bad and hope for the best, not really thinking about the future and what that entails. But anyway, that I think he, as a lyricist, I think he does a fantastic job, and he shows a cyclical time about revolution. And it's interesting because the word revolution has to do with a turning, and so he's playing off that. But the video shows that as well, and puts a really good emphasis on that. It shows at the end, well, at the beginning, it kind of sets it up where it's describing this kind of clockwork that revolution is, that things are bound to repeat itself in history, and that idea. Even though I don't think that's quite right, Stephen Kinzer puts it in a better way, that history doesn't repeat itself but delights in parallels and symmetries. And I think he's put that in Overthrow, one of his books. So I think that's important to keep in mind, that it's not that history is not a copy of something else, but history is a template. Like certain things that came before are templates to keep in mind for future events. But other than that, I think he does it. Tim Pool does pretty well on that. I think he shows that cyclical nature of time and how revolution can happen, because he not only shows that the tyrant coming to his end, but whoever takes over for the tyrant eventually can eventually become the tyrant as well, and then goes on from there. So yeah, if you guys want to, just check it out. I think it was a good song. Very good instrumentation too. I didn't know Tim was a musician. I knew he had managed like a punk band back in the day at one point, but I didn't know he himself was a musician. But anyway, check it out. Check out his channel if you want. I think he has good content, although it's a bit clickbaity nowadays with his titles. But anyway, I think the song is good enough to really check out. So go ahead.